Here's a great question from Charlene Evans. What is the total weight allowed, the product inside and the container weight?
That's a tough question, and for in the United States, it's going to be based on the state that you're in and the states that you're traveling through. I think that the max weight you can load in one of these containers before the bottom falls out is something about 65,000 pounds or something like that. However, for moving cargo over the road in the United States, that's you cannot come close to loading that much cargo in there. Typically, what we work off is 44,000 pounds in a 40 and 38 in a 20. However, you can move, via permit, much more weight than that in a container. But again, it comes back to the state that you'll be traveling in.
Yeah, it's funny. The first time we started hearing about this a while back, the container weight issue being a concern was having to do with infrastructure in China being taxed. So bridges that were, not rated for a certain amount of weight, having, containers just going over them all day long that were loaded, higher than they were rated for. And for us, this was way back. I can't even remember how many years ago. It was more of an inland infrastructure. This was more of an inland infrastructure issue than it was a cargo or a vessel safety issue. Obviously the carriers have had it on the radar for a while, but it's a great point that it's more. You can't just think about it as the weight on the ship. It's also are you allowed to move so much cargo over a road from plant to port? So.
And to comment a little bit further on the permit process. You can permit for over gross. Your gross weight vehicle, driver, container, cargo should not typically be over 80,000 pounds. But you can, in fact, get permits that will allow you to exceed that amount. However, if it also depends on how you distribute the weight over the axles of the chassis and such. So if you load too much in your nose and you get pulled over by the DOT, you're still subject to a fine and a ticket, because you're overweight on an axle, even though you have a permit for your over gross completely.